Welcome to A Day with Pompey. It's an honor to be with you. I'm Pompey, by the way. This week we're talking about sex. I'm in the process of writing a book called In Climaxing with God. 2013, me and God was talking and laughing, and he began to explain to me the reason for sex, the symbolic reason for sex. Because throughout generations, man has distorted the true meaning of sex. They have distorted the true meaning of what sex is and what sex means. Even the church itself has distorted the true meaning of sex. And then our generation has distorted the meaning of what sex really is. When I'm on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, people say the craziest things when pertaining to relationships. It's like if you suck your man good and if you eat your girl right, she won't cheat. So you're telling me that I gotta be good in bed for my spouse or my person not to cheat on me? We have picked sex as one of the #1 goals in relationships. The reason why your girl left you because you're not giving her sex or you're not doing it right. Or because this and that. It's all about sex. In our videos, music videos, all about sex. On our TV shows and in our movies, the media has made sex something. Sex is one of the oldest occupations of the world. Okay? But when God created man and woman, they never had sex in the garden. They didn't first have sex until they left the garden. Okay? When God gave sex was a gift. It was a meaning behind sex. The Catholic Church have been telling people for many centuries that they should only have sex for procreation. Thank God I ain't Catholic, because I be doing, we're going to just do it as have babies. Okay? So, you know, people preach against sex. Abstain from sex. Paul even says in the Bible, if you cannot remain a virgin, get married and have sex. You know? Now, what is the meaning of sex? When God created sex, he created intimacy. Sex was symbolic unto man and God. Whew. When God told me to write the book, I said, God, I need a title. I said something that would just smack somebody in the face when they hear it. So I said, how about sex and God? I said, God, how about that? He said, no. So I'm laying on my couch at work. I'm like, I don't know what to think. God, I'm sitting here trying to figure out a title. And he says, Paul, climaxing with God. For sex is symbolic unto God and man hitting a level. When God and man, when they come together, they become one. Like a man and a woman. For a man and a woman, a man should live his household and cling to his wife, and they should become one. Sex between a man and a woman is symbolic between God and man. So when you're having sex with your spouse, that's why God's against homosexuality. Okay? When you're having sex with your spouse, a woman, when you have sex with her, it is symbolic, because when you get into praise and you get into worship of God and you get into the spirit, you and God are climaxing. You and God are intimate with each other. Y'all are reaching a level of ecstasy. You with that girl, you with that man, and it's hot passion, all the sweat dripping down. See, and then when you release, that releases sperm, 47 calories. When you release it, you feel good. The same way I enter into the spiritual realm with my Father, when I am done, I feel rejuvenated. I feel relaxed. When the Spirit takes over, I feel as if I'm drunk. For Paul says, be not filled off of wine, but filled off the Holy Ghost. We have turned sex into a meaningless thing. When God himself created sex so that we can release the stress that we go through in life. He created sex so that we can connect on a higher level. Sex reduces stress. Yeah, have you ever been having sex with your woman or your man, and you got all these problems, and as soon as you everything you thought was a problem goes out the door now? I heard Lil Wayne nigga song, but I can't go to the video because you know, I know it. But he says, after I get done, I forget the girl. He said, after I get done, I tell the girl to leave because I basically don't love her no more. Because after I got done, while I'm in the meantime doing it, I love her. I want this and that. But once you, oh damn, what's your name again? Then, I'm gonna cook us a dinner when I get done. No, I'm tired, man. And that's why God created sex. But the Catholic Church tells us that sex is something for procreation, which is a lie. The reason why God is against homosexuality is because when two men sleep together, they can't produce nothing. When two women sleep together, they can't produce nothing. That's why he's really against it, because God's into the business of producing. God is into the business of harvest. So if two unnatural things connect together, they cannot produce. But when two natural things connect together, they can produce. And that's why God's against it, because God is into procreation. He's into growth. He's into producing. But we have taken sex, made pornos, we selling our booties for it, we twerking for it, we giving it off to our families for it, all over sex. Because sex, at times, just feel good. So when I look at my young generation and those who are in my age bracket talk about sex and you got to do this and do that, you got to like that, it kills me. You know why God wanted us to get married before we had sex? It was intriguing when we was telling us on the bus. I was sitting because God blows my mind when he talks to me. He said, Paul, he said, Papa, he says, listen, the reason why I wanted y'all to be married before you had sex is because when you get married with that person you're with, and you first time you have sex with her, you would experience every moment with this person throughout your life. Y'all are both new to it. So now y'all are testing it out with each other. And then he says, for instance, what if a man who's not a virgin marries a woman who is a virgin? Now this man been around with many different women. Now he marries a woman and they get married, and when they get married, they have sex. This is her first time, but it's not his. He says after a while, Paul, after they become more intimate, the woman doesn't know what to do. So what happens? He says the man begins to teach her what to do based off his past experiences. Meaning that while he's teaching her how Shaniqua did him, she's losing her identity. She's losing herself. So then after a while, she can't please him because he has taught her only the ways of his past experiences. Had he been a virgin when he met her, it would have been fun. It would have been an experience. It would have been exciting. Same with a man who's a virgin, a woman who's not a virgin. She would teach him based upon her past experiences. They would have nothing in common. And after a while, he would not be able to please her. Sex is for each of us to experience with that person you're with. Sex is symbolic unto with God and me. We get into the spiritual realm and we become one. And we're on this another level. Euphoria, all the transmitters are blowing, the dopamine is shooting through my body, all kinds are happening. And God said, but my people have taken a gift and have made it a job, has made it a goal in their relationship, Paul. He said, know what's so funny I learned? I told my father that, I told my dad this when I came, I met my wife, was holding the camera during her moment. She knew I was a big dog back in the days. But before, I told God, he's laughing, wait. I told God, I said, God, thank God you saved me now, because if you didn't save me, you probably took me out of this earth a long time ago. But I told my dad that I was dating this girl in front of my wife, and I said to my dad, after a while, I said, I can see me now, right? So I said, Dad, I said, you know what's so funny? He said, what? I said, after all this time, I thought it was always about sex. But it's bigger than sex. It's about character and morals. I said, because what happens when you get 85? That thing all dried up, taking 50 Viagra pills. You can't have sex no more. So what do I have in common with the person now? I said to him, it's bigger than sex. It's about sense of humor, about character, feel comfortable around a person, be able to sit back and still argue and talk smack, because after a while sex fades and your body can't do it no more. So you can't be throwing it back 75 years, you can't be throwing it back. And you know, old grandpa trying to keep up, and you know, many people died having sex. I ain't gonna be that guy. No, brother. I don't want to bust that kind of orgasm. It's cool. But after a while, we have made, let's say, some sex fades. And so now that we have made sex this goal in relationships, we need to remove it down to the last important thing. Okay? Because God designed sex for us to experience with one another when we get married. It's for marriage. It's for two people who come into agreement to be with each other to death do them apart. They may be asking me a question. Well, how can you tell me, Paul, to be a virgin if I'm still a virgin I had sex? When you are a virgin, would you go back in the past and never had sex if you got married? Good question. I can't lie to you. It's a 50, 49-51 situation, 50-50 at times. But I would. If I could go back, I would, for one reason why I would say that. Because I could accomplish something with God. Say, God, listen, I held up. It just been something like, hold on, I waited till marriage. That's been a goal, like that's been awesome. But then again, my flesh says, no, I need to have, when I get around the boys, I gotta say, yeah, I had that, yeah, I had this in my body, so. So it's 50-50, but honestly I would, because it would have been something great to do. To experience that ecstasy or that climax with that one person who also at the time would have been a virgin, it would have been awesome to do, because every moment would have been an experience moment, so I would go back. And so, but when we try to put sex as a goal, should not be a goal in relationships. Sucking and eating and hitting it from the back and pulling hair should not be a goal in relationships. Sex is more than sex, okay? Sex is not just for procreation. It's to release stress, to make you feel better. The same way when you get into the spiritual realm of God. So all those who frown upon sex is bad, or sex is not good. Yeah, it's not good if you just fornicating and being a whoremonger, but it's good within the marriage. You need more of it. I remember a girl was there, and she said, Dad, Paul, all you want to do is have sex. I'm 17. Dang. Well, my girlfriend, her boyfriend only do it 3 times a month. Well, I'm not that. I'm not him. You give it to me now, I go get it somewhere else. You know? So it's good. I mean, having sex every day, I'm not gonna lie to you, women. I don't want to buy a car with 200,000 miles on it. Okay? And I know you don't want to buy a hose that's been used by everybody in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So having sex every day is not good at times, because you need that break. So when we make sex a goal, it should not be a goal. Relationships are bigger than that. Sex is symbolic to what God and man gets into. I do stand up for celibacy. I'm teaching my daughters that, because I kill them in a heartbeat if they ever had sex before they get married. And the person they had sex with, I'm kill him. And I will commemorate him, ask for forgiveness in front of Jesus Christ, and flip myself to the mercy of the court. And my son, see, I say, here we go, the devil's advocate. I might kill him too, but I don't know. It depends. Double standards. But nah, I'll keep an eye on you. But sex. So let's talk about that. You know, it's bigger than life. Relationship is bigger than sex. Sex is symbolic to God and man. I hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you next week.